Say login application you are learning. The application, say login. Login and registration. In this, registration part is completed now. Say I'll execute the program, that program again. Say 3 HTML programs and 1 solid program completed. 3 HTML programs and 1 solid program. See, this solid program, it will receive the request parameters from HTML page. After that, it stores the data into database. And later, you have registered successfully message when you click on login hyperlink, login.html. This is a task completed, but still we have tried login solid.java. It is not completed. But here also database connection required. It has to check in a database, given username, password exists or not. That code we have tried. Okay. This program, once again, I'll execute. Login, except login solid, these 4 completed. Okay. That program, once again, I'll execute. Say, right click, run as, run on server, localhost, Tomcat version 10, click on next button, finish button. See here, homepage.html, homepage.html. This is a homepage. Okay, homepage.html. When I click on login, say login form, login.html, back. When I click on registration, registration.html. This solid also completed. Say I'll open SQL prompt. Here already 4 records stored. Connect system manager. Select star from uinfo. 4 records already stored. Now, say suppose triple E, I entered. If I click on submit button, see, you have registered successfully login. You can check here. See, triple E record inserted. After this, when I click on login, login.html. But here, we didn't write login solid. We didn't write login solid. See, triple E. When I click on submit button, login solid should execute. But here, not found, because login solid till we didn't write. This program you didn't write, no? Is it written? No. Okay, write this program. This program registration solid.java, reg solid.java. I'll open edit plus 1 minute. You didn't write this program. So write it. Logins, reg solid.java. Write this code. Just I'll replace with star instead of writing again and again. Star. Here, instead of writing these all, just I'll write exception. Noted. Registration solid dot Java. So connection establishment code be written in the init method. Registration solid dot Java. So connection establishment code inside the init method. Connection close code inside the destroy method. Task code in a do get, do post. Task code inside the do post. Note down. Task code inside the do post. So here request parameters are received from HTML. Here dynamic query prepared. Values are inserted in query. Query executed, stored in database. Online students, write the notes. End of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Is it over? See this program. Just once again, I'll explain. Listen with concentration. Online students, listen with concentration. Here, this is package, login package, IO package for print writer class, SQL package for connection, driver manager, prepared statement, prepared statement. These all required. Solid package for solid config, HTTP package, HTTP solid request, HTTP solid response, HTTP solid, these all HTTP package. So life cycle inherited with extents of HTTP solid. Connection we written outside because it is required in the init method also, destroy method also, do post also. If you write outside, you can access. If you write inside init method, it becomes local variable. Then you cannot access. That is the reason I written outside. In the init method, connection established here. Okay. Destroy method, connection closed here. Do post method, request parameters are received from HTML page. Here one dynamic query prepared. These values are stored in query. See, insert into uinfo values. These question marks. These values are going to be stored. And here execute update. Then query executed. This data stored in database. Then one message comes, you have registered successfully. Login hyperlink. When you click login.html. Now, login.html submit button. If you click login solid. This solid we have tried. Already this solid code you have seen. With this knowledge, you can give answers. See. Right click, new, solid. Now, package name, login. Class name, login, solid. Package name, login. Class name, login, solid. Extends HTTP solid. Next. Here, already URL pattern we decided. What is the URL pattern we written? Login. It is already we written in the HTML program. Login. Click on OK button. Click on next button. Which type of request is coming? Get type request or post type request? Post type request. Already you have seen login.html. In that method equal to post we written. So do post required. Post type request if you want to handle, do post required. Okay. Then click on finish. Here do post. But init method also required. No? Init method also required. Like this init method, destroy methods also we have tried. I forgot to select. Then we have tried. Public void init the solid config. We have tried. Public void destroy. We have tried. Okay. This throws solid exception. It doesn't throw exception. These methods also we have tried. See. Login solid. Here I'll write init method. Public void init, which takes solid config. Something config. Throws solid exception. Okay, this is init method. One more method I'll write, destroy method. Public void destroy. Okay, two methods. One is init method, one is destroy method, do post method. Now, in the init method, what we have tried? In the init method, what we have tried? Connection establishment code. Destroy method, what we have tried? Connection close. Okay. This method also, this servlet also communicating with database. So connection establishment code inside the init method. Connection close code inside the destroy method. Now, here, class dot for name. Okay. Now, it's a driver. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Connection. Connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection. 3 parameters. Here JDBC colon Oracle colon 10 colon at localhost 1521 XE. Username system. Password manager. Now, this connection, is it in connection reference? Is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? Local variable. Can we access in destroy method? That's what I'll write outside. Here, connection con. Okay. Now we can access. These two we are write in try catch blocks. Now connection close. Connection dot close. This is we are write in try catch blocks. Okay. Now connection establishment completed. Connection close completed. See, this connection reference I given as instance variable. If it is instance variable, you can access inside the init method also, close, destroy also, do post also. Now anywhere you can access. But if the connection is local variable, you can access only in the init method. That is the reason I written outside. Now this connection we can access here also, here also, here also. Okay. Now our task is, now this login.html username password we have to receive. For receiving username and password, what will write code? Give me answer. How to retrieve request parameters from HTML page? Get parameter method. Get parameter method in which interface? Solid request. Already HTTP solid request is there. With this can access. What do you write? String S1 equal to request dot get parameter. Parameter name, uname. Next, string S2 equal to request dot get parameter. Parameter name, pword. Now these two, whether exist or not, we have to check in the database. This username and password received from HTML page, username, password, whatever you enter, received. This is we have to check in a database. For checking in a database, one query we have to write. That is static query or dynamic query or PLSQL program. Static query required or dynamic query required or PLSQL program required. Dynamic query. For dynamic query, statement or prepared statement or callable statement. Prepared statement. What we have to write? Prepared statement PSTMT equal to connection reference dot prepare statement. We have to write query. What is a query we have to write? What do you write? Select star from uinfo. Select star from uinfo where uname equal to question mark and pword equal to question mark. Okay. Now select star from uinfo where uname equal to question mark and pword equal to question mark. These two question marks we have to fill. How to fill? Which method? Set string. What we have to write? PSTMT dot set string. Question mark number 1 and here S1. Next PSTMT dot set string. Question mark number 2. S2. Is it DDL query or DML query or DQL query? DQL query. For executing DL query, DQL query, which method you have to call? Execute query. What is the return type of execute query? Result set. What we have to write? Result set RS equal to prepared statement dot execute query. Okay. Now result set generated. Suppose given username password, if it is exists in a database, how many records written? Are you understanding? But majority people no response. Now here what we are doing, you observe username password. It is login.html program. Login.html program already you have seen. This is login.html program. This is login.html. What is this login? What is this login? URL pattern of login solid. URL pattern of login solid. When this action value executed, whenever submit button is clicked, whenever you click on submit button, the value of action attribute executed in form tag. Okay. Now login solid is going to be executed. Here, what is uname? What is pivot? Request parameter names. With these request parameter names, we have to receive first. Here, uname, pivot. These two must match. Whatever I given here, uname, pivot must match in login solid. It is matched. Whatever you enter, received. Username received, password received. Here username received, here password received. After that, here one dynamic query prepared. Select a star from uinfo where uname equal to question mark and pivot equal to question mark. Okay. Dynamic query. The values placed here. Set string S1, set string second question mark S2. Then query executed. Here, given here S1, S2. Like given username password, if it is exist in the database, then how many records written? How many records? One record. Given username password does not exist, then 0 records. So this result set RS, it refers one object. In that object, if it is username password is there, one record will be generated. Here, one record is written. If the given username password is not there, empty will be there. Now, here, this is result set. Here, F name, L name, these all generated, result set generated. It is F name, it is L name, it is U name, it is P word. Now, whenever result set is generated, result set pointer points to before first record. Suppose given username password exists, here data is present. If I call next method, it returns true or false? True. If the given username password does not exist, if I call next method, false. So next method you have to call. If it is written true means exist. Returns false means does not exist. So if rs dot next, if rs dot next, given username password exists, else given username password does not exist. Okay. Now here our task is this one only. No, see here. First of all, whatever you typed in username box, password box, uname box, pivot box, that is received here when you click on submit button. Received data we are checking in database. Okay. If exist, welcome username, else invalid username password. That is our task. Here, if exist, here true means exist, false means does not exist. Now, if it exists, what we have to display? Welcome username. Welcome username. For printing, welcome username. What we have to write? Print writer. Say print writer PW equal to response dot get writer. Now print writer reference dot println. Welcome. After printing welcome, S1. It is username. S1 is username. S2 is password. Now welcome username printed. That is over. Else, what we have to display? Invalid username password. Here, what we have to write? pw.println invalid username or password. Now here we created a print writer here. we created a print writer here. This print writer reference PW, is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? Local variable. In a local variable also, is it block variable or local variable or method parameter? Block variable. Inside the if block created, this PW, can I access here? No. That's what error coming here. Even print writer, if you import also, that error will be there. See, still error is there here. This print writer not accessible because this print writer inside the if I written, inside the if, you can access inside the if only. Here you cannot access. That is the reason instead of writing inside the if, you can write outside the if. Okay. Now this print writer, you can access inside the if also, inside the else also. Now it is normal local variable. If you write inside the if, it is block variable. That is written outside now. This print writer, we can access here also, here also. For this, if you want to write HTML code, that HTML code also, if you write inside the if, that is applicable for only if. If you write else, applicable for only else. That's what I'll write outside. pw.println, HTML body, BG color, suppose a red, text, yellow, level 1 heading. Now here outside the else, pw.println, level 1 heading close, body close, HTML close. Okay. Now these all throws exceptions. That's what we have to handle. Try catch blocks we have tried. Now it's over. Just you observe. Here you observe login solid object created. Whenever you click on submit button in login.html program, then connection memory allocated. After that init method called. Then connection established. After that do post method called. Whatever you enter username password in login.html received. And after this, here one dynamic query prepared. Given values are filled here. If given values are exist, one record written. Does not exist, no records. Next method, if you call, true means record exists. Welcome username. False means does not exist. Invalid username password. This print writer I created outside. Then you can access inside the if also, else also. Otherwise, only inside the if you write, if only you can access. This HTML also written outside. This is applicable for if also, else also. Okay. Now, if I run this program, you observe. Right click, run on server, save. Restart the server. Now here, homepage.html. Homepage.html. Now, here, registration already you have seen, login. Here already 5 records are there. 5 records. Now, suppose AAA, username, password AAA. If I click submit button, see, welcome AAA. Back. If password is wrong, submit button, invalid username password. Okay. Now, here, whatever is given diagram, this is written. See, username password received, it is checking in database, exists welcome username, else invalid username password. See the complete program, once again I'll execute, you observe. It is homepage.html. See, first we'll send the request to homepage.html. Then homepage.html executed. Say welcome to Naresh Technologies login registration. Suppose if you are a new user, you'll click on registration. Then reg.html. Here we'll enter the data. Already 5 records are there. I'll enter FFF. See, FFF. Username, password also same I'm writing. If I click on submit button, see, you have registered successfully. You can check it whether registered or not. See, FFF stored in database. Now, If you click on login, login.html, here triple F. If you click on submit, welcome triple F. Suppose either username is wrong or password is wrong, then invalid username password. So whatever I have shown this diagram, it is completed. Okay. Now this program login solid.java, you're right. Login solid.java. Note login solid.java. Write the code. These all, just I'll make it star. Write this program. Online students, write the notes. Already I told many times, but you are not listening. If I click on chat box, offline student, they cannot write notes. Because chat box visible to offline students. It is not visible to online student. If I open chat box, that is visible to offline students, but it is not visible to online student. And for offline student, they cannot write notes. Every day I'm giving a time, no? At the time you can ask any question. Here directly exception I'll write, then this is also no need, right? Init method, destroy method, do post method. Is it destroy method completed? Is it over? So login, registration, forms you studied. I'll ask some questions, give me answer. Is it completed? Now, I'll ask questions. Give me answer. IO package, what purpose we imported? Which class? Print writer class. SQL package, connection interface, driver manager class. Next, prepared statement interface, result set interface. For those four. Okay. Solid package, what purpose we imported? Solid config. HTTP package, HTTP solid, HTTP solid request, HTTP solid response. Okay. How many ways to write solid program? 3 ways. What is the first one? By implementing solid interface. Second one, by extending generic solid class. Third one, HTTP solid class. If you implement solid interface, how many methods mandatory to override? 5 methods mandatory to override. If you extend generic solid, 1 method. Which method? Service method. If you extend HTTP solid, no method mandatory. No method mandatory. You can select whichever you want. Okay. Now, which type of request coming from login.html? Then which method you have to override? Do post. That's what do post we overridden. Okay. Why this class should be public? It should be accessible to web container. What purpose? To create object. That object, what purpose? To call life cycle methods. To call life cycle methods. Okay. Extends HTTP solid. Life cycle inverted. HTTP solid extend generic solid. Generic solid implements solid interface. All lifecycle methods are belongs to solid interface. Solid interface inverted in generic solid. Generic solid inverted in HTTP solid. HTTP solid inverted in login solid. At last lifecycle inverted. Now this connection reference con, can I call variable? Is it instance variable or class variable or local variable? Instance variable. Okay, instance variable. This one, if I write as a local variable, what is the problem? You cannot access in destroy method. You cannot access in do post method. Okay, that's what outside I written. Okay. Now this connection reference instance variable. How many ways to access instance variable? 2 ways. What are those? Object reference. Which class object required? Login solid object required. Login solid object who will create? Web container creates. That object, how to access? This keyword. But where is this keyword here? Implicitly this keyword. No need to write. Implicitly this keyword comes. Now connection establishment code we written inside the init method. This code, if I write in do post method, what is the problem? Every request connection established. Then memory wasted, process wasted, server point of view burden also. Okay. That's the reason init method we written. Init method how many times executed? Only 1 time. When it is executed? Whenever first request comes to a solid. Okay. That's what connection establishment code you have to write inside the init method. That is only 1 time required. That is the reason connection establishment here. Connection close method we written destroy method. Connection close code we written in destroy. This when destroy method executed? Whenever solid instance removed. When solid instance removed? Whenever web application is undeployed or server shuts down, then executed. Okay. Do post method. Is it lifecycle method? No. But this method called from non-lifecycle service. Non-lifecycle service called from lifecycle service. Lifecycle service called by web container. Web container calls lifecycle service. Lifecycle service calls non-lifecycle service. Non-lifecycle service checks request type. If get type is there, do get. Post type is there, do post. Like that executed. We are writing do post, but directly do post is not executed. Web container knows only lifecycle service. Life cycle service calls non-life cycle service. Non-life cycle service checks request type. If get is there, do get, post is there, do post. Like that called. Now, after that, try block here. Here, get parameter method. In which interface? Servlet request. But we are using here request. Request is a reference of which interface? HTTP servlet request. But is it accessible? How it is accessible? HTTP servlet request is a sub interface of servlet request. That's what accessible. Okay. Now here get parameter method in servlet request, but we are using HTTP servlet request because HTTP servlet request is a sub interface of servlet request. You can access. Now with this connection reference prepared statement, one dynamic query prepared, and after that values are settled. Whatever we received from HTML, values are settled. Then query executed. Result set generated. Given username, password is there. How many records written? One record. Given username, password is not there. No records. If records are not there, if we call next method, it returns true or false? False. If records are there, if I call next method, like that. If next method called true means record is there, then welcome username printed. If give false is there, else block executed, invalid username password. So like this program executed. Print writer inside the if you write, you can access only in if, else block not possible. That's what I written outside. This HTML if you write inside the if, that is applicable only for if. That is the reason I written outside. So here this HTML outside. So these both are applicable for if also, else also. So in between this is inserted. Either welcome username or invalid username password inserted inside the HTML. Say in this program, how many language code is there? How many? 3 language code is there. What are those? HTML, Java, SQL. HTML code executed in browser. SQL code executed in database. Servlet code, Java code executed in server. So HTML code executed in browser. Servlet code executed, Servlet is Java. Servlet JDBC executed in server, Tomcat server. And SQL code passed to Oracle database, they're executed. So here 3 language code is there. 3 language. Okay. Server here, this query passed to database. Database side executed. This HTML passed to browser side executed. Remaining code executed in server. So Servlet program is a server side program. HTML program, browser side program, client side program. SQL query is a database code. That database only can understand this query. It is passed to database. Say HTML, SQL, Java, all be written in one program. Okay. This program completed. Say 3 HTML programs, 2 servlets. These 2 servlets are configured in XML file also. In XML file configured. Like otherwise you can write annotations. Either XML configuration required or annotation required for writing URL pattern. Okay. Already XML configured, that is by default automatically generated. Say login, src, main, web app, webinf, web.xml. Here 2 servlets code will be there. This is how to explain, not completed. Here registration servlet. See login servlet. Login servlet configured /login /reg. See registration servlet, login servlet. It is configured. That's what executed. So this is automatically generated. Okay. Now I'll ask some more questions. Give me answer. I'll ask some more questions. In this application, how many servlets we written? 2 servlets. Login servlet, registration servlet. In how many programs we written JDBC code? How many programs? 2 programs were written. In login solid also, JDBC code is there. Registration solid also, JDBC code is there. Suppose login solid, I'll open. Here, JDBC code is there. Now, this Java program, this solid program connected to which database? Oracle database. If you want to change the database, what you have to do here? You have to change driver, next URL, next username, password. If you want to change the database, you have to change driver, URL, user, password. Okay. Now, instead of changing solid program, this driver, URL, username, password, you can declare as a initialization parameters. That is in XML we can write. You can bring. If you want to change the database, you can change XML also. That type also possible. That is called initialization parameters. Now, next heading, note on initialization parameters. Next heading, initialization parameters. Note on initialization parameters are used to initialize the solid. 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 Next point. Initialization parameters are specific to solid. Initialization parameters are used to initialize the solid. Initialization parameters are specific to solid. Initialization parameters are used to initialize the solid. Initialization parameters are specific to solid. It is one particular solid only. And it is used to initialize the solid. Initialize the solid. I'll explain. Next, write it. To configure initialization parameters, we use init param, comma, param name and param value tags in web.xml. To configure initialization parameters, we use init param, param name and param value tags in web.xml. To configure initialization parameters, we use init param, param name and param value tags in web.xml. See, in a web.xml, you can write some parameters. Web.xml, I'll write some parameters. Like example, driver equal to some driver I'll write. URL equal to URL I'll write. Username equal to username I'll write. Password equal to password I'll write. What I'll do in a login solid or registration solid. Suppose login solid, I'll make it login solid. Login solid dot Java. Now these four parameters I'll retrieve from XML. Okay, these four parameters I'll retrieve from XML. After retrieving, now I'll connect to a database. I'll connect to a database. Now, with these two parameters, these four parameters, I'll connect to a database. I'll connect. Now, if you want to change the database, which one you have to change? XML file or login solid? XML file. It is better, no? Then no need to compile, no need to redeploy. Open XML, anytime you can change because you are not going to compile. You are not going to compile, you are not going to redeploy. XML file server immediately it can recognize. So instead of modifying solid program, you have to modify XML program. It is better, no? That's what these parameters will write here. These are called initialization parameters. Note down. Now, with these initialization parameters, we'll initialize the solid. Connection establishment, nothing but initialization. Initialization means not only employee number, name, salary, anything you can initialize. Connection also called initialization. Okay. Because connection establishment also one time executed. That is nothing but initialization. But in core Java, generally what we'll do? Employee number, name, salary, student roll number, name, these all will initialize. Here, this is also initialization. Write the code, write the diagram. If you write like this, anytime you can change the database. It is very simple. If you want to change the database. So in web.xml, I'll write driver equal to driver, URL equal to URL, username equal to username, password equal to password. I'll write about Oracle. I'll write. I'll retrieve. I'll connect to a database. Later, if you want to change the database, you change here only. Here, no need to change. That is a benefit. That is a benefit. Is it completed? This diagram is over. See what I given. Initialization parameters are used to initialize the solid. That solid initialization, any concept. Now, in previous programs, what we written inside the init method? What we written inside the init method? Connection establishment. That is initialization. That's what name is init method. Init method for initialization. Okay. Init method initialization purpose we use. Initialization parameters are specific to solid. So these parameters, whatever you are going to write with init param name, param value, only one particular solid only. Suppose registration solid also if you want. Again, you have to configure one more time. But initialization parameters are specific to solid. To whichever solid you configure, that solid only can use. Other solid cannot access. Now, how to configure, I'll show you. But in core Java, you studied initialization purpose, we use constructor. Okay. But here also constructor possible. It is constructor, you know. It is automatically generated. Automatically constructor generated. But here, what is a problem? Instead of init method, you can use consider also. No? When consider is called? Whenever object is created. That is how many times executed? One time only. But whatever you are writing connection establishment code, that is you can write in the init method, consider also. No? This program possible. Now next program not possible. I'll show you. That's what init method only prepared. Now, why you'll understand. First of all, how to configure initialization parameters in XML file. I'll show you. See, now here I'll close this window. I'll open XML file. In the XML file, I'll write here to which solid you want to configure. Login solid means after login solid class you have to write. If you want registration solid, after registration solid class you have to write. Now I want to configure for login solid. I'll write here. Here we have to write. After solid class, before solid close. The location also important. After solid class, before solid close. We have to write. Here, init param. Inside this, param name. Param value. Like this we have to write. This is one parameter for driver. Again, one more. One more for URL. One more for username. One more for password. Now, 4 init parameters. Here, driver. Driver class you can write here. Oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. Here, URL. Here, jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon at localhost colon 1521xe. Here, username. Here, system. Here, password. Manager. Okay. Now, like this, we have to configure. Now, here, just you write example. Just you write example. These all no need to write. Unnecessary things I'll remove. But where you are write the location important. Suppose present these all I'll remove. Here after solid class you have to write. After solid class you have to write. Solid mapping close these all. Note down this one. Example. This code write it. Example. Example web.xml file. Write this one. So I configured in web.xml. So after solid class we have tried, before solid close we have tried init parameters. Now, if you want to change the database, XML program you have to change. Then no need to change solid. That is a benefit. But how to access these all in XML, solid program, how to teach. It is only configuration. See, init param name, param value. 3 tags we used. But where we have to write, the location is important. Before solid close only. After solid class. After solid class, before solid close. In between we have to write n number of. Okay. That means now these parameters are specific to this solid only. Solid class. For that solid only, these parameters are applicable. Okay. How to use these parameters in a solid program? That is, we'll see tomorrow class. Okay, tomorrow we'll see continuation. Online student, just wait 2 minutes. I'll clarify your doubts. Online students, 1 minute, one by one, I'll clarify your doubts. Prasad, GDBC problem means you have to add jar file to build path. Otherwise, you have to add copy into Tomcat lib folder. Manju, yeah, I'll share notes in Google Classroom. Ravindra, yeah, I'll share. Pranit, connection is not established successfully means that the problem is connection equal to you are getting null message, I think. If you are getting that message means you have to copy OJDBC 6_G, 8_G. You have to copy into Tomcat lib folder. Otherwise, class path. Muhammad Rijwan. Registration solid program you are getting error means maybe table not. There are so many reasons. Your screenshot mail to my mail ID. I'll check it. I'll give a reply. Joshi. If it is connection is not showing, connection is showing null means you have to copy OJDBC 6_G.jar, 8_G.jar into Tomcat lib folder. Navneet Singh. Already explained how to run many times every day you are seeing. Already basic solids also you have studied. Pranit, you are getting in front of class for name means that is your mistake only. Shweta Singh, I didn't understand your question. File not found you are getting or directory not found you are getting. I didn't understand. Suresh, that is definitely your mistake only. Digambar, that is client side technologies you have to learn, not in solids. Neeraj Kumar, yeah, you can make it small project type only. This is project type only given. Ravindra, I'll share notes in Google Classroom. Sandhya, install Tomcat 10.1 and set path properly. But what is your doubt? Shweta, just mail to my mail ID, I'll give a reply. Abhijit, solid class path screenshots also is shared in Google Classroom. You can check it. Sandhya, command prompt not accessed means screenshots I shared. Check it in notes. Bharat Kumar, yeah, I'll share. Sandhya, Java P not working means you need to set JDK bin. That is also I shared in Google Classroom. You can check it out. Muhammad Rizwan, this error means you have to copy Tomcat lib folder. Shubham, that is your mistake only, configuration. Once again, you follow Tomcat rules and guidelines, whatever notes I given. Shravani, the notes I'll share in Google Classroom. You follow. If any doubts are there, mail to my mail ID. Shweta Singh. Yeah, just Eclipse workspace you change. You try to do it. Santosh Kumar working. Okay. Venkatasai, if LAN local area network connection is there, you have to do that one. Suresh. Notes I'll share in Google Classroom. You check it out. Just after 5 minutes only I'll share. You check it out better. Shruti. That is exception means that exception will not come. Solid is interface. Error compiled, that is Java P not working or exception coming. Just who is this? Ravindra. Wait 2 minutes. I'll share notes. Shweta. In every PDF, top, footer, and header, my mail ID is there. You can check it in PDF files. Every notes, every header and footer, my mail ID is there. Rijwan. See, other people copied, they got it. You copy, you'll get it. Otherwise, if any mistake is there, doesn't work. If you copy also, it doesn't work. Ravindra, many times I given reply. I think you are not listening. Ravindra, you are not listening, I think. Harshal Ravindra, you are not listening my voice. You are sending, but you are not listening, I think. B Shruti, Java P not working means that is there. In the screenshots, it is there. You check it in notes, is there. Screenshots are there. Java P command purpose also. Screenshots I shared in Google Classroom. You can check it. Okay, Harshal Ravindra. Okay. Screenshot is there, Shruti. You can check it. How to set Java P command also. Screenshot is there in notes. PDF files, it is there. You can check it. Okay, Siddhanta Kumar. You contact admin only. Yeah, notes I'll upload. Just if you wait, I'll log out, I'll upload. Okay, in just 2 minutes, I'll upload. We'll see continuation tomorrow.